I picked up this Tommy Hilfiger shirt at half price day at the local thrift store. I love it. Gave it a good press, washed it. And I also picked up this very holy little jean skirt. And my thinking is to make the shirt much shorter, maybe give it a little shape, but still boxy, and to take some of all of this bottom and create a little pleated ruffle around the bottom of this is the available fabric for the bottom that I'm going to add to the skirt, and maybe as behind those holes. And here's the shirt. I believe I'll keep it long sleeve, but maybe in a way that it can come up shorter. And I just really feel like I want to give it a little shape here in the front. So that's what I'm going to start pitting in now. A little bit. This lazy Sunday afternoon watching March Madness basketball, I wanted to sit in front of the TV project. So what I did was I took scraps from cutting off of this Tommy Hilfiger shirt underneath the frayed patches on this skirt. What I did was I hand basted around each of the holes, and now I have just come with monofilament in the needle and regular thread in the bobbin, and I have machine stitched around the perimeter of each of the holes so that these patches are really securely sewn on here. Then what I'm going to do is actually go and hand stitch, as you can see I did on these back pockets right here, with a heavy red thread. And I'm just going to do that with a little basting stitch. Now on the pockets, in order to keep the pocket still fully functional, I could only do the handwork. Obviously I couldn't do the machine stitching. It wasn't worth it to me to undo this and then redo it so that I could get this on by machine. I love all the fringe. I should have left one of these holes with the crosswise lycra threads still intact. Here you can see a couple of them. So it was more like that. And you can see here how much stretch is in these crosswise threads that we now have on our stretch jeans. It's just amazing how much thread is in all of these crosswise white threads that are lycra. I'm looking forward to the hand stitching. It'll be kind of like the Alabama Shannon type work, and I've even decided to take inspiration from Alabama Shannon, where they actually leave their knots beginning and end on the front of the handwork as part of the texture that they're creating. That's what I'm up to this Sunday afternoon. This is going to be a really great denim upcycled sustainable outfit here with this jean skirt modified here with the patches, and then the Tommy Hilfiger shirt. Here you can see the Tommy Hilfiger shirt. I cut the bottom of it off. I tucked in here at the front, but I didn't make it real fitted at all. I know things are just boxier and not as fitted right now. I also do intend to shorten the sleeves, but as I shorten them, I'm not going to shorten them to the same length as the top, because that would create too horizontal of a line. They're going to be a little bit longer. Look what I did to the back. Using 1 1/4 inch elastic, I simply created a tunnel here, a channel, anchored it at one end, the elastic into the channel, pulled it up, and again, it's not tight to the body, but it's nipped it in somewhat. With what I cut off, I created this little pleated border with a fold at the bottom. I started off with it 5 inches wide, and I've serged it, and I used the plaid as my guide in how to just roughly equally pleat it in. And look where I'm going to put it. Still with the monofilament in my needle, and just roughly keeping this much of this folded bottom pleated little ruffle around the bottom of the skirt. I'm stitching it on. Now the bottom of the skirt is all frayed. It's not very regular, so I know precision is not part of the name of the game on this project, which is fine with me. It's kind of fun not to have to be precise. But getting it done and having some good design principles involved is what I aim for. In this case, it's a plaid shirt, which is why I chose to pleat it rather than gather it. To me, that's more congruent with the line design of the plaid. So I'll finish this, and then what I'll do, this is my intent anyway, is to go back and add red heavy thread hand stitching along this edge as well to carry through that look all over the skirt. This is so much fun. All right, I'm all the way around the skirt. Isn't that cute? And I decided to start and stop at the center back. This is actually the front of the shirt here, the placket. This much left, which is about 12 inches. I can tell you that I used twice the circumference of the shirt in order to have enough fabric to do this and pleat it in. And I'm certainly not a fan of math, but this was my thinking. I knew that I had 56 inches plaid, P for plaid, around the circumference of the shirt at the bottom. I had 44 inches of skirt. So that meant I had 12 inches more of the shirting than the skirt. So I knew that wasn't enough to add any fullness, not gathering, and certainly not tucks or pleats. I knew if I had 2 rows of the plaid shirting, that would give me 112. So anyway, I set it for proportion. I said, I measured how many inches of the shirting, if I pleated it up as I wanted to, came to how many inches. So that was my proportion. 22 inches unpleated equaled 11 inches pleated. So I needed to know, that's my X, how many inches worth of the shirting did I need to equal the circumference of the skirt, the 44 inch. So, hey, this is the math that I lose so often in sewing. It's proportion. So you multiply the inside numbers, the means, so 11x, times the extremes, 22 times 44, which is 968. And then to solve for x, you divide both sides of this equation by 11. So that meant that I needed 88 inches worth of shirting to start with in order to give me the 44 inches that I wanted to end up with, because that was the circumference of the bottom of the skirt. So I knew I had 88 because if I took the width of the bottom of the shirt twice, and I had enough to do that, that gave me 112, and I needed 88. So I knew I had enough fabric, which indeed I did. I pressed it in half, and anyway, the plaid isn't perfect going all the way around the bottom of the skirt, but I think there's enough going on that your eye won't see that. With this extra, I'm not sure where I'll put it, but I'm sure not going to throw it away. I need a little bit more for patching a few holes yet. And once again, I stitched it on with the monofilament, and you can see here that I pressed it, I tucked and stitched it, and then I serged the edge so that inside the skirt, at least that ruffle edge is all finished off. But these patches certainly will not be finished off. I'm just going to cut this close once I get my decorative stitching done. Back to my easy chair and handwork. I love handwork, love it, love it, love it. And I love creating something sustainable, remade out of something that might have gone to the landfill, but now it's going to make one super cute outfit, perfect for the 250-year anniversary coming up and my America Proud. A quick video here on casings. A sleeve tapers. Okay, it goes from wider to narrower. So that's the case that I have here. And with this flat fell seam, it's just not worth messing with to make the adjustment in the width of where this fold is folding up to. So what I'm saying is that I've got a little more fabric here than I have here. After I put the elastic in and close this up, I know I'll have a few pleats in the outer layer, but this is all going to be scrunched and gathered up anyway, so it simply is not going to matter. That's the kind of thing you just cannot labor over in this kind of sewing, my opinion. There you have it. Upcycled, recycled, refashioned Tommy Hilfiger outfit.